Freakonomics Radio is sponsored by Hotels.com. Hotels.com gives you access to hundreds of thousands of hotels worldwide. And when you join for free, you can save up to 20% instantly with member prices. Plus, every stay earns rewards. So when you book one trip, you're already lowering the cost of the next one. Hotels.com is simple, rewarding, and designed to help you get more out of every stay. Sign up for free and book today. Hotels.com. It's all in the name. Freakonomics Radio is sponsored by Amica. You know what they say, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. So go with Amica and get coverage from a mutual insurer that's built for their customers, one that looks after what's important to you together. Auto, home, life, and more, coverage that fits your unique needs. Amica helps you protect what matters most. Visit amica.com and get a quote today. Freakonomics Radio is sponsored by TalkAboutPD.com. Let's talk about Peyronie's disease, or PD. It's not widely talked about, and some men may feel reluctant to bring it up, but it's more common than you would think. PD can happen when scar tissue builds up under the skin of the penis, causing a curve with a bump during an erection that for some men may lead to pain during intimacy and impact mental health. A trusted urology specialist can help diagnose PD and walk you through your options, including non-surgical treatment. Visit talkaboutpd.com.
From APM, American Public Media, and WNYC, this is Freakonomics Radio on Marketplace. Here's the host of Marketplace, Kai Ryssdal.
Time now for a little bit of Freakonomics Radio, that moment in the broadcast every couple of weeks where we talk to Stephen Dubner, the co-author of the books and the blog.
Oh, geez, Kai, I'm sorry. Fight through it.
Here, all right.
Okay.
Books and the blog of the same name. It is, of course, the hidden side of everything.
Let me find the button, Kai. I got it. Apologies.
Right. So what are you doing?
I'm sorry. We just put a burglar alarm in the studio here. It goes off like every 5 minutes.
One would think you'd be able to turn it off when you're on the radio, dude.
You would, but it's not just me, Kai. Do you have any idea what the false alarm rate is for burglar alarms in this country?
Well, I'm just going to guess you're trying to make a point here, so I would say high, yes?
The data show that false alarms account for 94 to 99% of all alarm calls.
Wow.
Okay?
I mean, that's great that they're false alarms, but it's bad that they're false alarms, right?
Well, you know who hates it even more than the homeowners are the police.
Yeah, of course.
Listen to Craig Steckler. He's the police chief of Fremont, California. When he realized that 98% of the alarm calls to his department were false alarms, he started to figure out what this was actually costing him.
Okay.
The officer's time, we figured it was around $67 and for each officer to respond, 2 officers per call. Then the dispatch time was around $12 for every dispatch call. So, we took those figures and multiplied it by our number of alarms and came up with this figure of 664,000.
Wow, that's just a lot of false alarms.
We talked to Simon Hakim, an economist at Temple who's been studying this issue for a long time. He says that in a given year, U.S. police respond to more than 35 million alarm activations. Now, again, Kai, something like 95% of them are false alarms, and the cost is about $2 billion.
Most of the time, it's not a burglar that came to your house, but it's false activation. So the 94 to 99%, you get a personal service. It's not enhancing in any way and form the security of the community.
Well, so that phrase you used, false activation, what does that mean?
Well, one industry expert we talked to puts about 75% of the blame on user error. So, of course, the industry would blame us stupid users, right? And then there's the weather and power surges. And also, let's not forget, there are actual burglars out there, about 2 million burglaries a year in the U.S.
So do these alarm systems, though, deter? I mean, would it be 5 million without them?
Well, Hakim says that, yes, the alarm systems do deter burglars to some degree. The sign in the yard and, the threat of the alarm and the police. We've got a deterrent effect, which just happens to have an extraordinarily high false positive rate.
What does the alarm industry say? I mean, they're obviously making a lot of money selling these things that don't work 95% of the time.
Well, good point. We talked to Ron Walters with the Security Industry Alarm Coalition, which helps deal with the complaints about false alarms from the police departments.
It's our number one priority. This is the one issue that we have decided it has to be addressed.
So, they're proposing better design for alarm keypads, more video monitoring to verify whether an alarm call is legit. But, if you think about how the incentives are laid out, Kai, you do have to wonder how hard the alarm companies really need to try. Here's Chief Steckler again.
They have a business model that sells a product that gets serviced by a public entity that they don't even pay to do the service. And so it's money in their pocket. Why should they change?
Yeah, that's the total skeptical realist view, but he's got a point, right?
He does have a point. Financial analysts say that industry leader ADT, for instance, has an operating margin of about 25% on roughly $3 billion in annual revenues. And so these false alarms pose what economists call a negative externality. That is, the provider charges you for the service, but then they pass along a big part of their costs to someone else. In this case, the police departments and the taxpayers who support them.
Right. So what are we supposed to do about it? What are the solutions?
Well, it's probably a good idea to make the alarm companies more accountable in some fashion, including, having them make alarms that don't fail so often. In the meantime, some cities have started to penalize homeowners for repeated false alarms, cash fines, even misdemeanor charges. As for me, I think I'm just going to ditch my new alarm that seems to go off every 5 minutes. I'm going old school. Here, Kai, see if this new alarm of mine would actually keep you out of my studio. Go ahead, make my dog's day, Kai.
I've been to your house. I know you don't have a dog. Get out of here, Mr. Upper West Side. Stephen Dubner, Freakonomics.com is the website. See you in a couple of weeks.
Talk to you soon, Kai. Thanks. Hey, thanks for downloading this Freakonomics Radio podcast. Our episode next week will be a full 1-hour program called Eating and Tweeting. You'll hear from Alice Waters, Nathan Myhrvold, Justin Halpern, Duncan Watts, and Steve Levitt, who would much rather eat than tweet. Unless, of course, someone else is doing the tweeting for him. That'll be next Thursday on iTunes and at Freakonomics.com. Freakonomics Radio is sponsored by Ozempic. Innovation happens through rethinking what's possible, and when it comes to GLP-1s, Ozempic pill does just that. Learn more about Ozempic semaglutide tablets, 4 and 9 milligrams, by calling 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and ask your doctor what's possible with FDA-approved Ozempic pill. Freakonomics Radio is sponsored by Vitamix. According to the LA Times, the average American home contains 300,000 items, including a staggering number of appliances. All those gadgets, just clutter. But there's one tool that delivers what a dozen others only promise. From pureeing to chopping, Vitamix blenders bring the power of an entire kitchen to your countertop, offering enduring performance and precision you can count on. In a world full of clutter, do more with less. Visit Vitamix.com and shop now.
Hi, I'm Angie Hicks, co-founder of Angie. From roof repair to emergency plumbing and more, when you use Angie for your home projects, you know all your jobs will be done well.
Angie, the one you trust to find the ones you trust. Find a pro for your project at Angie.com.